What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Lord, let me get my camera together. Jeez, y'all looking at my ceiling. Hello, come on in. Come on in. We're just gonna catch up a little bit because I miss you guys. We haven't been here in a while, done anything in a while. So I need to see, well, y'all see my face. I can't see y'all faces, but I need to see you guys. I miss you guys. Come on in. Bring yourselves in. Show some love by dropping some lime green hearts in the chat. If you miss your boy Sean, throw some blue ones in there for him or whatnot. We just here, just chopping it up. I miss you guys. I wanted to give you guys some announcements and also a little bit more words of encouragement because, like I said, if you see my community posts, hey, Monique, if you see my community posts, February is a very tough month for me. So I've been going through my little changes and I'm getting better each year, but it still gets difficult to get out of my own little funk. And so I just wanted to come to get with you guys to give you guys a little bit more encouragement on how to possibly get out of your funks, the things that I do to get out of mine. And talking with you guys helps me kind of get out of my head and in these spaces that I'm in. And right now I'm just balancing work, trying to do this online thing and watch all of these daggone shows. It's too much. Like they say, it's not enough time in a day. I don't know how y'all do it. Some of y'all that do it, but kudos to you guys that work the 9 to 5 or whatever hours that you work. Get it in. I'm trying to balance all of that relationship wise and everything else I got going on in life. So it's a little struggle. I'm getting there, but you guys come on in, show some like. Let me get housekeeping out the way. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel. Announcement coming up, but subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all of you guys' love that you guys show me and Sean on this channel. We got some upcoming interviews with the new cast, Ready to Love, coming up soon. I just wanted to do a quick little live before we talk about the show later on Kojo's panel. Just chopping it up with you guys because there was a couple of things that I had noticed and I was probably going through it myself and watching Love is Blind. So trying to catch up on that and a couple of these other shows we like to watch. I just noticed a theme that was going around and I find myself I was in it more so growing up than I am now, but I just noticed that this is a thing. It's self-love. We don't give ourselves enough love, and it's really, really crazy that that's the first person that we you would think we love the most, but we don't. I guess because we project out and the view of the world by seeing it so much that we forget to look at ourselves a lot of times. And so I've been noticing, I was trying to remember the young lady on Love is Blind's name. I was trying to look at the show real quick to cheat it up. Um, I don't forgot the guy's name because I'm gonna mix it up with Kyle. I know it's not Kyle because I think Kyle is with Shayna, but it's the other guy. And they were the first couple to get engaged, and I really loved his energy and I like how he stands by her. But I knew that she was going to be a problem because of her self-esteem. And so that's what prompted me to talk about this, especially, like I said, because I go through my issues. Month of February, I would just put it out there. The month of February is hard for me because technically my second child was supposed to be born in February. And so because that didn't happen, I still go through what I had to figure out. I was going through a depression during that month. It hit me. I'm the type of person that things don't hit me right then. I have a delayed reaction to some stuff. So sometimes it takes me some years later, months later to actually be affected by it. And it comes out of nowhere that I'm affected. And so I've realized that February was becoming a cycle because the first time it happened, I didn't realize it was happening to me, that I was going through a depression or whatnot. Sometimes you don't realize you're going through these things until somebody else calls you out on it. Then the next year, when I just realized I started isolating myself from a whole bunch of people and just remaining to myself and not really engaging with a whole bunch of activities, I realized that I was going through some type of issue and I was having a problem and I had to sit back and try to relate to what it was. And so I chalked it up to the time frame that the doctors had told me my baby was supposed to be born. And so I took it as that because I really didn't have any other traumatic experience that I can recall that happened in February. But February, every time February come around, I would be really, really depressed. So, it's been getting better. I'm getting better. I try not to think about it as much anymore, but it's still like a hard subject to get through. If you ever lost a child out there, you kind of know how it feels, even if you were unsure, like I was at the time, because like I said, this was working on my second baby. I was still in college. Me and her father at the time were like off and on, and we just happened to be on at this time that I got pregnant. And it was just a weird time for me. Like, I just didn't think I can handle another one, especially if we weren't in a solid on position, and so the complications of deciding what to do, what not to do. I'm not pro-abortion or whatever, but I just wasn't happy about the decision. And I'm not going to say God made the decision for me, because God would have probably gave me the child if that was the case. But life overall just made this decision for me, so I didn't have to make a decision. So I felt pretty good about that part, that I didn't have to make it. But it still hurts, every so often to just lose a part of you, so to speak, even if I wasn't ready for that part. I wasn't ready for the first one. Hell, what I was supposed to do. So, I would have made it work or whatnot. But February became a tough month for me. And so I'm just trying to get out of it. Freaking A. I'm rambling because I'm trying to remember old girl's name, but I'm gonna probably have to just pull up the cast people to get her name, because it was her that I've started to watch as I continue to watch Love Is Blind. Is that because she went through her changes with, as far as her body, as far as losing weight and all of that, her confidence should have boosted. But the problem is, a lot of times it's the exterior is not the problem, it's the interior. And if we don't have that confidence on the inside of us, no matter what we do on the outside is not going to help. That's why you have these people. Oh, it was Coach O's BBL story too. And I'm glad that child didn't have an issue with her on the inside, herself on the inside. She just wanted to make some improvements to her outside. So, but a lot of times when we have these issues deep rooted inside of us, hey Crystal, hey Grace, how you guys doing? It's hard to get out of our head and move forward. And then when we think about moving forward with somebody else, it's a complication that turns them off eventually, because you have this great story about how you made these positive changes for your life. You did these great things for yourself to improve your health. But on the inside, you didn't make the proper changes that you needed to make. And so I think what we need to start doing as a community and as a people is that we need to, hey, Mimi, that we need to start doing the mental work first before we start changing our bodies. I know that plastic surgeons and physical therapists and all these people that do corrective surgeries and these things are not focusing so much on your mental, but I think that they should send you to somebody first before they actually contract your work, to make sure that you are in a stable condition. I know their priority is just get your money, get you out of there, go on your way, and if it don't work, fix it again or whatever. But that's not healthy. If you want to make changes, that's fine. Everybody wants a little bit of improvement on themselves. We all don't like the way that God has made us, but that's the thing. We need to learn the way that God has made us, because he didn't make no flaws in us. We just have to, like we do with makeup, enhance certain things about ourselves or whatnot. So, I just wanted to come on and just give a brief talking with it. I don't care. Krista, if you want to come up, I can shoot me a DM, because I don't have your email. Well, I can send you the link in the thing. If you want to come up, let me know. What did you say here? The thing is, even though you lose the weight, you still think fat. Exactly. That right there. that that is definitely it. It's like even though you make these changes, there's always more improvement that you want to make. You see something. The thing with making changes is you're starting to pay attention to the details. And when you start paying attention to the details, there's more details that's wrong. There's more, that's more, that's more. And that's that slippery slope, especially that people that go under the knife a lot of times, that I corrected one thing. Now that I corrected that thing, this thing is off. Now that I got that thing straight, now this thing is off. And so it just becomes a constant. And you said it right there, addiction. You replace addiction, is becomes an addiction because you want the quick, fast, and easy. Usually when you lose weight through the gym, that sometimes helps the inside of you because it's a slower process. So you start to love the work that you're putting in to see the changes, and you like that part of you. But when you do those quick changes, that doesn't help the inside of you. And so learning to love you is a very hard and tedious process. And I say this because I know I had to spend hours, and when I say hours, just in the mirror, staring in the mirror to figure out what parts of me that I really, 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 there's nothing wrong with. Like, I really love these parts of me. I would sit in the passenger seat of the car and look in the rear view mirror at myself a lot of times and just be like, oh my God, I really love my lips. Oh, this, I really love this. I had to spend that time with myself and stop looking out at everybody else and saying, why don't I look like her? Why don't I why don't I have hair like this? Why is my skin this color? Why is this? Because what I got in me when I was little is, you're too skinny, you're too light, you need to go out somewhere and sit in the sun, you need to eat some more, you need to gain more weight. What was the thing? You're a pole. They used to call me string bean or whatnot. And when you're a child, you feel like something's wrong. You feel like something's wrong with you. And that's not necessarily the case. They're kind of just projecting a part of what they miss about themselves, maybe, on you. Sometimes some people are just jealous. I don't really like to use that word, but they are, and those people are your family. Some people just don't have better ways of actually raising a child to be themselves. So they give you these heavy, heavy critiques. Hey, Kia, how you doing? And so it sucks growing up, because then you have to deprogram yourself from all of that talk that they gave you. And you have to start all over as far as loving yourselves. And a lot of times it gets harder as you get older, because now you're in school with people and you're looking at these people and you're saying, comparing yourself to them. Well, look what they have, what they got. Like, I don't have big boobs. I'm be the one to tell you, what I'm saying? And it wasn't till my grandfather was actually the person who made me feel confident in not being voluptuous in certain areas or whatnot. Otherwise, I'd be under the knife myself, getting a boob job right about now and stuff. I'm not going to even lie to you guys, because I really thought about it several times. But he was the one who sat there and just gave me this little, he just told me, he was like, anything more than a handful is a waste. And that just made me feel, that little saying right there just made me feel so good about myself. Like, okay, I'm okay. I don't need to overdo it. I don't need all of these other things, because my best friend was very top heavy, and it was just natural for her and stuff. But then it's like a problem later on for her where, it starts to be back heavy. I mean, it starts to weigh on your back. She used to have to wear, when we play basketball, 2 sports bras and all this, because she was just as skinny as I was, but she was just top heavy. So everybody has their issues. And nobody likes it. I had another cousin that went and had breast reduction because hers just would not stop. Her estrogen just happened to be high in her body. And so hers just would not stop growing, So everybody has issues when you start to really think about it. And you have to just really learn to love you and not start carrying other people's happiness or their happy parts about them into your life because it makes you miserable and you're not remembering what makes them miserable about them parts. They might not even like them parts about themselves, you know. Let me see what you guys are saying. Monique, what you say here? Yeah, then it's on to the next thing wrong. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying earlier. Um, Monique, no, you didn't. You had a gym membership and only went one time. Girl, don't waste your money like that. Make it work. But then let me shut up because I'm paying for one. I just won't refuse. I won't stop paying for it because I got like a great deal right now. But once it start running up my pockets and I ain't going to the gym, I'm cutting that damn thing off. Shoot, I'm trying to get me a elliptical in my house. And if I get that in my house, to hell with that damn gym membership, because that's the only reason I really go. I got everything else here and stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to rant a little bit about a little self love because we watch these shows and we watch these people and we get on there. And I just remember hearing her just talk. And you would have thought that, and forgive me because I really can't remember her name or the person she's supposed to marry name. I just remember she's the brunette and he is the blonde and he got engaged to her first on Love is Blind. So if you guys know who it is, help me out because I can't remember and I don't totally want to play the show right now to try to remember who it was. But yeah, she just kept going on about she's going to be insecure if he likes her or not because she lost the weight and all of these things. And I just knew that it was going to start being a problem in their relationship because when you're not in a place where you're secure on the inside, Danielle, that's it. Yes, because it's Nick. Yes, now I remember. That's it. Danielle. It's Danielle because I remember Nick's name. So yeah, it's Danielle that had the issues of losing weight. She lost the weight. They didn't. I don't remember if they went in detail. I probably wasn't paying attention if they went in detail of how she actually lost weight. But I almost feel like she must have lost it in quick surgery, or did a process where she did some surgery before the workout to keep it off. Because in here and in here, she still struggles. She still thinks she's fat. She still has that mentality of a person that's not going to like her for her, and it's part of the reason why she did the show. And I'm not mad, but that's also a turnoff. When you don't have the confidence to walk in a room and say, you know what, I'm not here against anybody else. I'm here competing against me and me alone. And because nobody, especially if you walk into a room full of strangers, because nobody knew you yesterday, you don't have no competition in that room. I don't walk in a room anymore. And I'm saying anymore because there was times I walked in a room very insecure and unsure of how people were going to take me. But I don't walk into rooms anymore like this because I'm not worried about anybody else in the room. If you really see me, I'll be lying straight to the connections that I know in the room before anything, because that's still part of my insecurity. But I'll just walk into the room like, hey, how you doing, everybody? Because that's how I just enter. That's what I love about Ace so much on Ready to Love, because Ace has this the lack of my word is getting twisted, but she has this reassuring confidence, even though she's like a little introverted and that can come off as being insecure or some way. Ace has never gave a negative compliment to any of the new women coming in. She, always embraced them as she gives compliments to all the women. She's like, oh, it's another baddie coming in. She gives all of these beautiful things because it's that exactly what you said, Crystal, that innate confidence with that in her. She's not worried about anybody else. I love that about Ace. Joy comes off sometimes like that as well. She's first to go give the ladies a hug, dismiss the men and stuff. I like that. I like that about those women. It's not about anybody else there. You like me for me. And Precious was another reason why I wanted to do this thing, because when you in that space of people liking you for me, you don't have to explain yourself, especially to somebody that we'll get into later on Kojo's channel, but who is not even your top interest. That threw me for a loop because I'm like, child, why are you really explaining yourself to this man then? You don't have to explain yourself to anybody if you're confident. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, not sorry. That's what I was just like, when you're secure about how you're behaving and moving in this world and you don't give a shit. Some people are total dicks in this world, okay? Excuse my lack of better word, but they are total, you know what I'm saying, peens. And they have don't give a two ish about what you think. And it could be that confidence is borderline in that arrogance, but that's really what it is. It's just like a very, very high confidence that my ish don't stink. So to heck what you got to think about me, because there's people over here that love me for this. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to channel that inner you. In some situations, you got to channel that inner you. Don't be to everybody, because that's not how you really want to come off. Because if you can't fight, that'll get you beat up. But let me stop playing. But you don't want to put people off. But at the same time, you got to carry that confidence in yourself to just walk in. Grace, you know what I'm saying? I can't tell you. I'm over the computer if your ish stink. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you you know, I probably wouldn't. I would tell you if I did, or I might talk about you on a live. I don't know. No, just playing. But yeah, you got to carry that mood. Sorry, not sorry. Sometimes you got to just walk into the room and just say, "Take me as I am," because this is me. I don't want to change. When I love me, there's parts of me that I'm just not going to change. You can motivate me. You can probably suggest some changes, but if I love that part of me, chances are I'm going to tell you to move around because I don't know what to do because I'm not ready to change that. Now, the insecure parts of me, I may change if I feel it's worth it. If those are the parts of me that I already have like some innate feeling about, I want to change this parts or whatever, I might do it then. But child, I had to grow to love this person that I am. I have like no regrets. I'm gonna tell you that now. I really have no regrets, but it took me a while to get to this space. So change for me is got to be, I want to change this about me, or I totally love you enough, and I was already considering still. That's a two-part one. I was already considering changing this about me. Otherwise, good luck, because I don't need you. I as much as we are in this world with other people, I don't need you. You know, I like that. I like that, Grace. Your flaws keep you humble. Our flaws should keep us humble. But we're in a world where microwave change comes from, so people can fix their exteriors, but them internal flaws are still there. So what do you do about that? Do you go to get therapy? Do you talk to people about it? Are you even aware that you are carrying these flaws on the inside? And so that's the thing that I think people need to express a little bit more, is that those thoughts on the inside that eat away at us. Another reason I was bringing this topic came to my mind, I just thought about it again, is because of the two. And I'm gonna say that I feel, before I get into this, I say that I feel like this is suspicious, but those two beauty pageants that just now committed that unalive intentions to themselves. You know what? Let me just do this like this. I'm gonna send it to you through IG, Crystal. Sorry, y'all. Those two supermodels that just committed the unspeakable to themselves, or whatever, so to speak. I say it like that because it's just rare. Now one I could have took, but two now, that's a little bit getting along on the lines of suspicious. But that was another thing too, because we look at them and it's just like, oh my God, they're so beautiful. They got all of this thing going from. They, are doing all of these events, and have all of this, like literally we looking at them like they have all of this going on, but something on the inside is not making them happy. And I have noticed when, because being in the modeling world for as long as I have, and speaking to a few beauty pageant contestants, there's a high insecurity in that. You guys, if you're looking on the outside, you're looking at it and you're just like, oh my gosh, you guys are so beautiful. There can't be nothing wrong with you guys. But there's a high vanity there that makes, and I say us because I was part of the modeling world, insecure. Because secretly you're competing against the next girl, the next model, the next person. And especially when you're in the pageant world, they have to keep up a certain level of prestige and appearance all the time. Like the world expects so much of them, even in their off times. And that sometimes is hard because you just want to be yourself. And yes, Grace, really, a lot of models do have a lot of insecurities because what what you're taught in the model world is to bring your flaws forward, and you're supposed to make your flaw, um let me see, you're supposed to make your flaw your accent point, like your highlight. If you guys ever watch Old Top Model, they did it a lot. um Tyra would make the ladies do it a lot on there. I'm sorry, I'm trying to send this thing to Crystal now. This thing don't want to paste, sorry. A lot of top models would do that, where they have to uh bring their flaws forward. So you're sitting here looking at us and you're like, oh my God, they're perfect and all this stuff like that. But it's these broad shoulders, these awkward arms, some of them, I'm a teeth person. So when you open your mouth to speak to me, I start to look at your teeth. A lot of models have jacked up teeth, and you're like, oh, no wonder you don't smile. No wonder you don't do this. Not all models are Colgate models. I'm sorry. You have to have a very nice set of veneers when you're a Colgate model. And I'm not saying that those veneers are not yours naturally, but I'm just saying that's how they got to look. Even with my teeth, like I look at flaws with my own. So it was a time that there's still a time. Let me quit playing. I don't smile a lot in my photos. You're taking hundreds of photos and you're looking for the best one of it. It's a process of eliminating, oh, this little thing right here, oh, your eye is a little off right there. It's when you're going through that process as a model, you start to, each time that critique gets there, you get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And so, like, you guys are seeing the finished process of like one photo out of all the many that got trash. There's very seldom, it's not until you get to probably like supermodel status that you get in there. You got 10 frames, you knock all 10 frames, and they're having a hard time trying to figure out which of the 10 frames is the best frame. You know what I'm saying? That's very seldom. I don't care what model that you gone through or whatnot. I'm pretty sure if Tyra really wants to reveal her truths or whatever, she'll tell you that she done probably went through a ton of photo shoots where a lot of pictures got thrown away. You might think they were the best, and the photographer was like, no, this was off, that was off. And I mean, not all of the reasons that it might be thrown out is because of you. Sometimes it's lighting and all that, but it's a lot. And you go through all of these things where you're trying to get this most awkwardest pose, and your face is, because you're leaning on the edge of something, and your face got to be like this perfect position of comfortability. Like you have to really be in the moment. However, not be in the moment, it's a lot in your head. And when you see yourself in the makeup, it's a big thing. You see yourself in this makeup and you're so gorgeous. They got you beat to the gods. And then you take the makeup off. Then what? A lot of us be like, after them shoots, we trying to go out and do a whole bunch of things because it's like, oh, this makeup's good today. Y'all gonna see this. Y'all gonna get me today. But Then the next day, what? It's just the same with guys, and they go get their hair cut, and then when they start growing up, then what? Their confidence go down. You talk to a lot of guys without that haircut, that confidence go down real quick. So, you got to start learning how to love the inner you as much as you can. Spending a lot times with you. I don't want to put my daughter's business on the blast, but I mean, it was a struggle with her growing up because I had to try to groom her of not looking at the other kids and comparing things about herself with them. It took a while for her hair to like really, really grow. And I mean, she had hair, but it just like would not grow past a certain length for a long time. And then she had a friend with, long curly hair, but it was just they were mixed. I don't want to say mixed, but they were just not from the US, so they had different hair. And it was a lot to get her to just get out of worried about other girls' hair, other girls' skin, other girls' figure shapes, and all this. It took a lot to get her to be confident enough in loving herself. It's not an easy process. And, as sad as it is with those two beauty pageants that did that, I can only imagine what trauma they were going through on the inside to make them choose to take that route. I talk about this in my Bible study all the time. What are you fighting on the inside to even contemplate taking your own self out like that? That's a lot, you know. Um, it's hard. I always remember the line off of the movie. No, I'm not going to get the name right now because it's blanked out, but it's with Jamie Foxx and Gabrielle Union. It was about them loving, and he makes this line in the movie. He was like, "If you love," he was like, "Love is a selfless act, or whatever." And he was like, "You don't love nobody more than yourself, and if you did, you would be able to bite your own skin, or whatever." And I think I look at that when I look at taking your own life. You know, you got to be going through something major in here and in here to go that far. And don't get me wrong, I have contemplated on several times. Held up, something like that. Is something along that lines. I can't remember what that name of that movie is. I actually like that movie, but I just can't think of the name of it right now. But you have to be going something in here, it it hurts to think that people can do it. Was it Sleep? No, y'all gonna have me think about this daggone movie now and stuff. I can't remember what it was called. It was something. I know he was a book writer, or he was writing about love or something in the movie, and he ended up dating Gabrielle Union's character. And she had just cut her hair, so she was going through her changes or whatever from her boyfriend, and she was fussing over that. I remember that scene. She was fussing that she don't look like Holly Berry or whatnot. She kept trying to pull her hair back out, breaking the rules. That's it, Mimi. That's the one. There you go. Thank you. Yeah. So but I just want you guys to get out here and really, really, really put love into yourselves. Sometimes you might have to do it more than you put it into other people, because sometimes when we don't love ourselves enough, we end up in bad relationships. We end up in the wrong relationships. And we end up staying in toxic relationships longer than we should. Yeah, Grace, go watch that movie. It's actually a good comedy, and it got some nice little moments up in there for love or whatnot. It was a good movie. But when we don't love ourselves properly, we don't know how to love others, and we tend to, like I said, stay in situations that are not the best for ourselves because we haven't learned that we deserve better, or there's better out there for us, or hell, I can do bad all by myself. So why not be by myself instead of sitting in this hell with somebody else? I know we like to sit there and say, stay in a relationship, make it work or whatnot. Hell, as much as we could change our bodies, you could change relationships nowadays. And if that person is not giving you at least I'll say over 50% of what you're looking for in a relationship, why are you there? Why are you doing that to yourself? Why are you just like staying in that toxic space? Crystal, I sent you the link. I don't know if you got it. It says seen, but is it working for you? I don't know. Because I'm not going to stay on here too much longer because I know we got Kojo's live coming up, and I didn't quite. Well, I watched the episode. I know you guys is ready for that. Yes, yes, it does. It really starts at a young age, and if you get a bad start, it tends to be a struggle. Fatherless home, etc. I'm not gonna, because I didn't grow up in a fatherless home. I grew up in a motherless. Well, I can't say a motherless home because I was provided with a stepmom, and I love her to death. I just didn't grow up with my actual mother's love, so to speak. My first memory of my mom really being there, and I say my memory because I knew she was there prior, and she had me around, but I blocked out a lot of experiences because of childhood trauma. I don't know why it's saying your device is not connected. Mine did the same when it first came on, so I'm gonna give you a minute, Crystal. But I went through a lot of experiences, and so my first real experiences when she came back around when she was pregnant with my brother. So I was 7 years old at that time. So that's the first time I really, really remember seeing my mom. But it's not just fatherless homes, it's just broken homes, and sometimes even homes with both parents. I say it all the time. Parenting does not come with a manual, and some of us, we think we're good parents. We just learn what we learn, and we teach. Better speaking, we teach what we learned. And so I don't know, Chris. I see you pop in, but it keeps saying your device is not connected. And you know what? I had this issue when I popped on the StreamYard, so I don't know what's going on. Let's see if I could try to send the link again. But we do definitely repeat the behaviors until you start breaking the cycle. That's why I said I had to sit with myself, because before I brought children into this world, I wanted to make sure that I was somewhat together. I know I brought her in. I brought her in at 20, so I wasn't totally young, but I wasn't totally prepared either. So I was kind of together, but not where I needed to be. So it was a learning process for us both at the same time to gather it, get it together, and try to learn. But I tried my hardest not to do and repeat a lot of the things that was done to me. So I just try to groom her to love herself as much as possible, and it's hard, even when you kind of understand the child and stuff, and you're like, just love you, just look at you, just be happy with you or whatnot. They still are dealing with them. I just sent the link again, Crystal, if you can try it. I don't know, maybe that'll work. Q, if you still in here, I'll send you the link to if you want it. I don't know why this is acting crazy with y'all today. Let me see. StreamYard is acting up. Child, and Grace, I wish I could drink some wine right now. Shoot, my doctor just told me my daggone liver is up. I'm like, why? I don't even drink like that. Shoot, I'm about to go find. Look, I'm gonna give me a glass of juice. But virtual hugs. Hug on yourself too while you at it. Give yourself some hugs. Love yourself. Another thing I had to do too is not go from relationship to relationship. I can't even add you on here because it just keeps saying your device is not connected. I had to not go from relationship to relationship. I had to give myself time, because that going from relationship, I won't say that it was a broken part of me that was going, but I just didn't never felt complete. I just never felt uh, whole going into the next relationship. I needed to feel happy by myself, and that was a thing. That's what it was. It was I felt like I wasn't happy unless I was with somebody, and I didn't know how to feel happy alone. So I had to take minutes. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, Crystal, either. Because when I first came on, it didn't. I thought it might have gave you a time where it let you log in there and jump on. I sent it again. If you can try to send it, maybe hit me, DM me your email real quick, and then we'll try to go from there. Is this not plugged up? I ain't getting no battery life either. I'm about to be all screwed up. Okay, there we go. But yeah, I had to stop jumping from relationship to relationship too. That was another thing that I had to stop doing, because I was not happy thinking that I can find happiness with a person. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure my laptop don't cut off on y'all, because I don't know why my battery is not charging either. I feel like I'm not prepared. Oh, there you go, Krista. I think there you go.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, this still has the other
Okay.
number. I got you up here now and stuff. Oh yeah, I was just talking right now about jumping relationship to relationship and not giving my time to myself to regroup on those
And
situations.
you're right. We have to take time to ourselves and find out what happened in the previous relationship so we know how to grow from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I did want to speak on what you were saying earlier um, about the weight loss. And I used to live in LA, as you know, and when I remember distinctly when I first lost a lot of weight. Now, when I first lost a lot of weight, I used to work at the Gap at the Grove, you know it well, and I remember trying on a pair of jeans and I went down just one size, and my coworker said, "Crystal, you can go down another size." I said, "There's
Oh,
no way." I didn't.
hello. I think we lost you, Crystal. Uh, she lost. We lost her, I guess, for a second. Yeah. Shoot, that reminded me of a time where I was trying out for modeling. I told you how my family said how skinny I was and how much weight I need to go. And I got in front of a modeling agent, and he told me I needed to lose weight. If I find these pictures of how I was at 7, I was probably like this thick. Okay, these 2 fingers, I was probably this thick or whatever. And that man told me I had too much hips. I'm black, sweetie. If I got hips, that's the bone inside of my body. I can't lose that. What I'm supposed to do? Shave it off? Okay. That man told me that I was too big, that I needed to lose weight at 7 years old. My family telling me I need to gain weight. Oh my goodness, that mess was that. Yeah, Monique. Some people got some nerves. They got some nerves. I can't believe that they told her that though. She's trying to get back on. I see. Let me try to remove this one down, and maybe when she comes back, it'll let her come back in. Let me kick that one out, and then I kick this one out. Try again, Crystal, because I just kicked these ones out. They won't come in. I would not. But that's what I'm saying. If you gotta get that self love in you first, because people will tell you anything, and they will have you out here on missions to harm yourself, because they not happy. You shouldn't be telling anybody nothing about themselves that they not ready to hear, especially if they didn't advise for it. Like, don't give me unsolicited information. There you go.
Okay.
All right.
And I just did not believe it. It's almost like you still see that other person in the mirror. even though you know that you're one way. And the poor girl on Love Is Blind, she's still looking at herself in that other way.
Mhm.
And now she's dating a guy, a potential husband, who is not truly attracted to her. That's still going to mess with her insecurity. That's going to amplify it over again.
You think not Nick
Um,
is not truly attracted to her?
no, no. That's what. Uh, that's. I don't think so. I think that he has a specific image that he wants to portray. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Um, but that's what that's giving me, and that's concerned. That's kind of sad.
Because
Yeah.
I would think that if he wasn't, I mean, he might not be superly overly attracted to her. I won't say that, but I think that he has that attraction for her as far as mentally, that it carried over to physically, because I look at him compared to Shake. Shake is like,
Hmm.
I'm not touching you because I'm not attracted to you, period. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? But
Okay. I hear what you're saying.
at least Nick had, he went there. Now I don't want to say that he's a hornball and he just don't care who he's smashing, but he was still by her side when she got sick. He
Mm,
didn't up and ditch her. And we did not hear him saying that he was not attracted to her like that.
that's a
So
good point. He definitely is not Shake. You're right.
yeah,
That's a good point. That's a good point.
so I
I
won't take
just
away what you're saying about him, but
mhm.
I just don't see it from him.
And I do want to talk about what you were just saying earlier about, because I have two friends that had the gastric sleeve,
Hmm.
and the doctors made it mandatory that they go to therapy.
Oh,
And
good.
and she said, because I'm replacing one addiction with another. So a lot
Hmm.
of people, and I met this guy who uh had gastric bypass, and he became an alcoholic because he couldn't eat as much as he was previously. So literally the food amount was taken away from him. So that alcohol was a different drug because it was masking issues with his father, issues with, the reason why he was overeating in the first place. And I agree, when you talk about self-love, I really appreciate that, because we really have to check in with ourselves. And
Hmm.
as friends and as women, we have to check in with each other. And yeah, because we don't know what somebody else is going through. These two beauty pageant ladies, I didn't even know there was a second one. This is so sad, because
Hmm.
we just assume because they look a certain way, because they've got all these things going for them, that mentally they may be going through certain things as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it was real terrible when they said they pretty much the same way. The second one was off of, I guess, the balcony, 3-story high balcony. So she basically succumbed to her injuries to the fall. So I'm not sure they're ruling it as a suicide, but I'm not sure if it's suicide or accidental slip and fall. I don't know, but it's just real
Or
coincidence
something else.
that yeah, it's just real coincidence that is another beauty pageant winner, and pretty much the same incident.
Right. And
So
we
that's
as
why.
ladies, are we secure in our, this thing with Precious, this really got me. So much so that I brought it up on my show with Kia, and I said, do we know how we are coming off to people? And if we are, our insecurities, then we're on a competition show with 10 other ladies, that amplifies it, and we um, start to become just over. We're already, as Black women, over sexualized, right? And then we want to be seen. We're like, see me, see me, see me.
Mhm.
And it's we don't have to be seen. We don't have to not be. I'm sorry, I'm not saying that right. It's not that we don't have to be seen, but they'll like us anyway. We don't have to put ourselves out there in a negative way or try so hard,
Mhm.
is what I'm
That's
trying
the
to
thing.
say.
Yeah, that try so hard. I
That's
think
what I'm trying to say.
that's what she. I don't want to say Precious tries so hard. I think she's I feel parts of me feel like it's part nervous energy, and it's mixed with her. She just gives me like a outgoing kind of free spirited type person who is just probably loud and is good to work the room in a party, but in this type of setting, as far as trying to attract the man that you're interested in, or men that you're interested in, I think she
Right.
struggles on just taming it and controlling that energy in little spurts or
And
whatnot.
you have a point that I've seen other interviews and people are saying that that's who she is. When she walks into a room, you know that she's here. So that
Mhm.
probably is her. But then at the same time, she's also in a competition with other ladies. And then you start to look in the mirror like, who am I compared to these other people? And you don't have to compare yourself to anybody else.
Hey, Misha and Crystal. So we got a one-on-one. Monique says she agrees with you. She says that he's not attracted, and then Drowsy says she didn't see that either. So
Okay.
I guess we have this. Well, I haven't watched the last, so y'all don't ruin it for me because I haven't got to the last episodes yet. So
Okay.
if
Mm,
y'all dear,
okay.
don't
Okay.
ruin it for me. So hey, so yeah, I mean that is Precious personality. I just wish she didn't apologize or have to explain herself. I feel like if that's you, just stand by you. Be confident enough to say, "Hey, this is me," and if you don't like it, it's fine.
I totally agree with you though. And I do think that instead of apologizing and apologizing to somebody who you're not really interested in, absolutely. When you said that, I said, she doesn't even like him. He was just the
Yeah.
one standing up there to dismiss you the other day, but you're not interested in him. Just turn a new leaf and show people who you are. So it it is coming off like um needy, and I
Mhm.
don't really love this word pick me pick me sure, but it's coming off like I need to explain myself. You don't
Yeah.
have to, just turn a new leaf, turn a
That's
new
what I'm
leaf.
saying. You don't have to. If that person doesn't like you, wish I had that video clip to show it. But if that person doesn't like you for you, there's people that are out there that are. And I know they're probably not on this game show, but that's just the
Hmm.
thing you have to deal with. It's like, okay, well, keep on moving.
And you know what's so funny, and I was just telling a story about how when I first lost a great deal of weight when I worked in LA,
Hmm.
and I was I've always been very confident, but in LA, as you know, just like you just told that story, it's a different level, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm on my weight loss journey, and I'm back to losing weight. But this is for, but I'm definitely want to let you guys know I'm losing weight for me. And I was on my channel and I said, this is so I can make sure that I'm healthy,
Hmm.
because I'm not 25 anymore. This is not something that I'm doing because I need to be seen or because I'm insecure with myself, because I still think I'm beautiful. How many ever roles I got. So, but you just have to be secure in yourself, and just sometimes it takes that self talk. Sometimes it takes those daily affirmations um, to reaffirm yourself.
It really does. You got to do, and like you said, I like that daily affirmations because you got to remind yourself on a daily, like especially as we get older, our memory is not that great.
Right, right.
So you got to remember who the hell you are on a daily basis.
You're absolutely right.
I am
Sometimes we
me.
need to reassure ourselves.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, definitely. Because like I say, I have days where I put makeup on. And I'm like, oh, child, what did you do? Just wash it all off. And then, there's days it's like, oh, okay, you beat to the gods. Hey, how you doing?
exactly.
And then there's days where it's like I don't have anything on, and I'm just like, I do not care today. Y'all gonna see me as it is. I am in this
Hmm.
full me glory, and I think that's a lot of. I love the era that I grew up in because before us, I'll put it like this: before us, when you look at your grandmother's pictures or your grandfather's pictures back in the day, they had hardly any makeup on, if any.
Yep.
And whatever they did, I mean, I know the camera was different, so that powder camera and all that different stuff, I'm kind of aging them a little bit, but I'm not. But whatever they did, they look so gorgeous in all they photos. I was like, I be going through my grandma's stuff. I'm like, child,
But it's
hello.
that self-confidence.
Uh-huh.
It's that
It's definitely that
self-assurance.
confidence. It's just like, they didn't have the makeup, they didn't wear it like that. If they did have it out there, however the hair was, the outfit was, they rocked it, and that's what it was. And
Right.
I love that about them. I love it about them. And then you get us now, and it's just like, I know the camera's a little bit more HD, so you're getting the real things, but it's just like, if you can love yourself in the mirror, you can love yourself behind that camera. You know.
Absolutely. I've seen my pictures of my grandmother laying across the bed, and she's dark skinned and everything. And I said, "Gosh, all of these women today. Oh, I wish I looked like this. I wish I had these lips, or I had." I said, "Girl, love yourself who you are now. That's important
Mhm.
for us to love ourselves, and this self love, and just having that reassurance that if somebody doesn't like you or love you, then that's okay. The next part, there will be somebody that's going to love you for you."
The funniest thing, if there's not somebody that likes you or love you, you like you or love you. That's the thing. Like, you're gonna be with you longer than anybody else. So love you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I got to tell you guys something. So, and I was telling Kia yesterday that, I would do Maria's show on Wednesday nights,
Hmm.
and I go and I watch it back so I can get better, because sometimes I feel like I get tongue tied when I'm on Kojo's show or wherever, right? And
Hmm.
I just happened to go into the comments, and somebody was criticizing me in the comments, saying they just can't listen to Crystal, they just can't watch Crystal, um, and they were giving me advice about being, oh girl, you got to meditate and you got to go to therapy, and you're scatterbrained and all of this stuff. And so, but before, by the time I had seen it, Maria and Grace Mercy Save, and so was already in there saying we support Crystal, and she's one of the brave souls that gets on here and gives her comments and stuff. And I said, you know what? Sometimes I do get, sometimes I falter. I'm not perfect, but I am in therapy, and I do meditate, and I that's why I'm in here in the first place, because I watch it back to see where I can improve.
Hmm.
So and sometimes people just want to say stuff. They
Yeah.
just want to criticize you. And
Yeah.
and I watched the whole thing back, and I said, there was just one little part of that. I was on that thing for 4 hours, and you took that one piece where where I couldn't find my words, and you just went in on me. I said, okay.
I
I
trust.
said,
I'm
okay.
pretty sure every last one of us that's been up there, because I mean, we've had an incident with one of the other panelists, who somebody just tried to go in on her, and it was just like, it was kind of like, you don't have to explain yourself to this person, but she's like, no, I'm gonna do it, because she's like, you guys don't understand. I went through a health scare, not a mental health, but a whole health scare, and now I'm
Right.
on a particular drug that has me gaining this weight. Because it was one of
Hmm.
them, you need to change that profile picture because it doesn't match you, what you look like now. It's like,
Wow.
it's a profile picture, first of all.
Right.
I could have a profile
And you
picture.
don't know what people are going through. And that's another
Yeah.
thing as well. You don't know what people are going through. I said,
Mhm.
are you really giving me advice for therapy? You don't know what I've been through. So I said, oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, wow. People just want to say something. People just want to say something, and they want to criticize. They just want to put you down for it. They just got time. And
Mimi,
you
you
just
can
have
get
to
them
be
tatted
sure.
on nowadays. You don't even have to draw them on anymore. You can get them tatted on. No, let me stop. No, but my dude does tattoos, so I know people be going there and get their eyebrows tatted on. I'll be like, child.
Yes, they were complimenting me the other day because I got mine done, and they know sometimes it comes up, the
Mhm.
half of them are missing. They know what I really look like, but that's okay.
Listen, listen. Out of the three girls, only one of us got some good eyebrows, and that's my baby sister. Mine's don't grow all the way at the end. My sister's don't grow at all at the end, but hers is perfectly set up for just a little, and she good. But my baby sister, she
Wow.
can't.
I, but the self-care is so important, and sometimes we have to just have these conversations with ourselves. In 2016, I lost a best friend to suicide, And since then, I'm like constantly checking in on my friends and just constantly, just if I get down, I just have to, have those affirmations and find out what it is.
Looking,
Um,
I don't want to
go
bring
ahead.
that situation up too much, but looking back on that situation, because sometimes as a person that I know I have contemplated on several times, I I know there are signs, but looking back on it, do you think you seen the signs and just kind of overlooked them on your friend?
Hmm. Yes, because I had spoken to her 4 days before.
Mm,
We had had about a 2-hour conversation. We talked about her kids. She had 4 kids, and talked about so many things: work, her job. I'd given her advice on her job, and I had text back and forth. And I think we talked on a Sunday, and on Wednesday I texted her, no answer. Text, no answer, and then Thursday I got the message that this had happened. I feel like at this time, I feel like I was checking in. You understand what I'm saying?
mhm,
I was doing those check-ins. I know that she had tried. I'm gonna say 3 years earlier, and I said, you need if you are ever feeling down, or if you're ever feeling um, that you want to take your life or anything, please call me any time of night. Doesn't matter what time. And I feel like no matter how much reassurance I would have given her,
yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah,
it's just, you just can't tell. You just don't know. You just don't know. And it's she was 40, only 40 years old, young, beautiful, and she had a lot going for her, but she also had a lot of trauma in
hmm,
her childhood, teenage years, that we can speak about for a long time. But when you do those check-ins, but I didn't, see her face to face, but we do those check-ins, and we do say, hey, I'm here. You can talk to me about anything. You just still, you don't know what people are really feeling deep inside.
hmm,
And when somebody's depressed, they could be just fine
yeah, yeah,
the day before.
yeah, yeah. I
And
don't,
I
and
know that,
go ahead, go ahead.
go ahead. Well, I was gonna say, yeah, we had text back and forth that day, and then Wednesday I text her a reply and nothing. So I don't, you just don't, I don't know.
Yeah.
I,
No, and Drowsy said it better than I. Drowsy, you said it better than I was gonna say it or whatnot. Because I didn't ask that question to make it seem like it's anything on you or you did anything wrong or whatnot. Because a person that's really committed to doing that is going to do it regardless. You know what I'm saying? And
right,
it's really nothing you can
right,
do to stop them. And I like how she puts it. She said, Crystal, if she was asking for advice on her job, that would indicate that she was future oriented, so she must have decided something after that, and that's where I was thinking of too. It's just like something must have just said, you know what, that's it, you know, and it had nothing to do with you. So I didn't want to bring that up to make you feel some type of way. I just wanted to know if you possibly had seen any of the signs, because sometimes we do give off signs, and sometimes we just don't tell anybody, and it just do it, So you know. So I didn't want to put nothing on you. I just making sure you know. I didn't. No, I don't want you to
no,
put
no. I've gone through so many mental, and that's one of the things that I talk about in therapy. Like the my therapist says it's some I go through prolonged grief, because I said this was
Mhm,
2016, but I think about her every day.
mhm,
And what could I have done? Um, she told me, but they were having a lunch with her supervisor to air out grievances, like the whole team was, and no one was speaking, and she walked out of the meeting, and she was just sad. And I said, "Did you say anything?" And she said no. And I just, but I didn't know that it was to the point. It had to be more than that. I know that
Yeah.
she was, her and her husband, um, they were going through a divorce. It was a lot. It was a lot of things
Yeah,
that I can,
she was
talk
just
about.
weighted
But it
down
was
by a lot. Yeah,
right,
I hear it.
right.
Yeah, yeah. Misha says sometimes people are just at the lowest when they're acting like everything is fine. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
I've
absolutely
been that
true. That's
way.
Misha. That is absolutely true.
A
When
lot of
somebody
us,
is,
a lot of us do that.
when they're saying that it's okay, everything's fine, and that's why I had a friend that lost her brother 2 weeks ago, and she said, I'm okay," and I just sat on the phone with her, and I said, "I hear that you're okay, but I'm gonna sit right here, and I'm not getting off this phone." And she broke down and started crying, and so I said, "It's okay, I
Hmm.
understand." So, and we just have to check in with those people.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Because I've had friends lose their boyfriend in some of the oddest ways and all that stuff very, very unexpectedly. And it was a situation kind of like what you and your friend went through, where they talking to him 1 minute and then the next minute they're getting a police notice. Like this has happened, and you
Yes,
can't get any information from anybody for a couple of days just to find out what actually happened and stuff. So it's just like, you know,
I
it's not
actually had
easy.
to call the police and pretend that I was her sister because I know the family, and I got all the details, and I said she must have been in so much pain,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah, that's another thing. The lady in the sun. That's what I say sometimes. When you're really there at that point, you're not going to even talk to people about it. You're just gonna, you don't want the interference because it's unfortunately you just tormented so long. You just can't
Right,
deal. You just can't deal
right.
anymore or not. And then there was a other thing that I say with my Bible study too. It was like, if you once you the sad truth about understanding the Bible too is once you understand it enough, it gives you so much comfort to know that even if I was to make the decision not to be here anymore, I will be okay. So sometimes I'm on the fence on which side they're on. If they're just in so much comfort that it's just like, I would rather not be here, but I know there's something more in the future for me, or if they're just so tormented.
When I tell you that's exactly what I did, I went and I spoke to my pastor, and he said to me, "Did she know God? Was she a believer? Did she know God?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "She'll be okay. She will
Mhm.
be okay." But I
Mhm.
thought that was just so important for me because I thought of it in a different light. And growing up, I've heard that they're not going to be okay. They're, whatever pain you're in on earth in life, you're going to take that into your transition. And that was killing me, that she was still going to be in pain.
Mhm.
And so I had to talk to my pastor, and I had to talk to him, and he said she's going to be okay.
Yeah, I know when I was going through my ups and downs and back and forths and people were trying to intervene, it would be that, it's so selfish. That would be such selfish thing of you to do that to yourself and you leave all these people behind. But like when you're in that state, it's like it's so selfish for you to hold me here to deal
Girl,
with
that's exactly
going
what
through.
people said to me. How selfish of her. And
Yeah.
that's not
And it's
that's
it's
that's not what.
it's it's not.
Go
It's
ahead.
I mean, it's a balance of the two though. It's like, it's selfish of you to want me to stay here and you not really dive into what's going on in here, what make me think to do this. You don't really care enough to sit there and sit me down and say, let's really go through what's going on. Why are you even here in this space having these thoughts? And for you to even say at the end, that was selfish of me to do this. Think of all the people that you left that has to go on with you doing this. And it's like, you guys never thought of all the time that I've been here and not want you
When
to
you're
make it.
going through pain
Yeah.
or depression, and like you were just telling us when you first came on, the child that you were going to have, it's still there, even though um, you don't have that child. It's still there. You don't know what we don't know what you're going through. You
Hmm.
understand? So yeah, you have to
Yeah.
get through that your way.
And unfortunately, a lot of us is not in those spaces to communicate that with people. Like I had to literally learn so I can sit there and tell the person when I'm dealing with a certain moment, and I still find myself doing it now where I'll hold in moments of depression. Like the beginning of this month, I was going through it because there was a lot of things that were happening on top of that. Like if it was just that at this point, I would be a little bit better. But it was a whole bunch of other things that was happening in my life. Then combining that on top of it, it was just all weighing on me. And I had to really open up to my partner and just be like, hey, the last couple of weeks I've been going through something. And if I've acted out on you or lashed out on you or, came this way, and it was just one of them things, well, why you don't say anything to me? And you have to learn those changes when you're dealing with somebody too, to not just keep it in all the time, allow
You
people to
know,
have.
I want to talk about this self love because you said something so interesting when you expressed it to him that you were going through something. A lot of times, people like internalize that. Your partner will say they'll blame yourself. Well, they'll think it's them. They'll
Hmm.
think that it's something wrong with them, or and they'll almost find it as rejection. And that actually happened to me. I was like really sad about my friend one time, and my ex, he just thought that there was something that he wasn't doing. And I said, there's nothing that you can or cannot do right now. You know what I'm saying? It's her birthday. I'm remembering, and we would all of her friends would get together and we would do like white balloon ceremony. And I'm sad. There's nothing
Hmm.
that I have to get through this. I have to, you know, and it has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
And we just have to know to be okay with expressing that and letting the partner know that you're going to be able to get through it.
Yeah, it gets difficult, especially when you've been dealing with it by yourself so long or whatnot. I just been blessed enough that I have a partner, and I say this in the nicest way, but I have a partner that goes through his own moments at times. So it's
Hmm.
just like we have to just kind of be patient with each other and understanding of each other. That it's just one of these times. I just need a moment to myself, or I just need some time, and then I'll be back with you. Just sit here in silence with me. Sometimes we just need that. Just hug me, just hold me, or just let me have my time. Whatever it is I need, just let me. But you do, like you said, have to be able to communicate that with your partner so they don't feel like it's them. So
Exactly. That's very
it
true.
it,
That's
it
very
gets hard
honest.
because you gotta love the negative sides of yourself, in those moments. And sometimes those moments are not the best moments, and we don't want everybody to see them. But when you've created a safe space with somebody, whether it's your partner, your friend, um, your therapist, wherever you create that safe space, you have to be vulnerable enough to let those people help you, because they're there. God put them in your life for a reason. So let that work.
That's true. What's so interesting? I do have to ask you a question. When you are going through this, like in February, how do you refuel your tank when you are in
Um,
in a funk?
I do different things. I'm kind of like a lot of the people in my family. I try not to think about it, so I start doing other things over conversating. So I started doing right now. I've been doing a lot of artwork through my cookies. So if you guys look on my Instagram, there's some of them up there and stuff. So
Girl, they were beautiful. I was
yeah,
like, that looks so good.
yeah. So that's what I've been doing lately. Now I got this new outlet. So talking to you guys, because like I said, I haven't been on because it's been a try to balance all of these things together, and more so it's just getting out of my own head because I start getting hard on myself. So
That's actually what I go through. And on my show, I talk about this, that I go through like imposter syndrome sometimes, and I'll have like, and you guys will see, I'll have like four great shows and then nothing, and then I'll get back on it, and
mhm.
it's just constantly making sure to refuel your tank, constantly finding something to be that whatever you look at as creative, as you just
Mhm.
talked about your cookies and your desserts. That's important to refuel your tank in some type of way, and celebrate those people that are not in your life, or celebrate, what has happened to you, and
Celebrate
celebrate
the
it
stuff
in the
of
way.
those people that are in your life. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
And
yes. And
speaking of which, since you give me a perfect segue right now, I want to celebrate you all because a couple of weeks ago we made it to 500.
yeah,
If you guys
I saw
didn't
that.
know,
Congratulations. That's what I
we
meant to say
made
coming
it.
in here. I had
Yes,
so
and
much
I was
problem
just trying to
coming
get
in.
the yeah, I was trying to get the energy and everything up to sit here and bring it to you guys. And I just it was a struggle because, like I said, my work and all these other things was happening, and I was trying to balance it back all again. But I'm on here. I don't have Shauna's gonna kill me because he usually is supposed to be here, but we'll have to do it again on a Monday because he's always his Saturdays is like his day off, so he has to get so much done, and I understand because I'm like that on my
Good
day
point.
off. But I wanted to thank you guys all, all of you wonderful people for bringing us here. Next mission is to 1,000, so let's keep it going and stuff. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys just have no idea that really did bring me back up in February. It's like, you know what? Let me get my itch together because now I got people watching me and I got to be accountable.
Right.
We're not. Another thing I need to get back into doing though, like I said, I'm trying to get the elliptical in my house. That usually helps me with the stress too, is working out. And so that's probably why I've been kind of stressed too lately because I haven't been to a gym in a couple of years. So eh, I need to get together.
I really appreciate this show, and I'm next for 500. I haven't made it there yet, but I'm on my way. And thank y'all so much.
Well, speak
It's
it,
just
girl, because I speak it at the beginning of the year on your show. I said that's all I want to do. Is so I don't know how I
yep.
got here, but speak it now.
I'm speaking it into existence, and
Hold
then
on.
road to a
Don't take me
thousand.
off. Go ahead.
I just need to speak it into existence. The road to 500, I'm close, and then road to 1,000. We're just gonna keep pushing and keep making sure to put out great content. That's and uplifting each other. That's my goal. That's important. Thank y'all.
Get up there. Get her up there, y'all. Y'all go support Crystal Lynette on her channel. That is her YouTube name is Crystal Lynette. So you guys can find her right there by her name. It's written right there. Y'all got the spelling. Y'all know
Thank you
my
guys. And so I just when we talk about when we're going through a transition, like I talked about my weight loss and everything,
mhm.
just still be confident. When you're first looking in that mirror, you may not recognize yourself, but just know that that's still a beautiful person right there, and you're going through a transition. And like I see like Lola like cut all her hair off, and I said, you know what, we need to refresh, and we need to go through these transitions in our life to
Mhm.
put that brand new person forward.
Yeah. When you reprogram and you gotta sometimes take everything else off. You gotta
Yes.
shed everything else in your past as well sometimes, even change. Unfortunately, it's sad, and I'm a big person of not I have the hardest time losing friends. That's my
Hmm.
hardest thing to do. I can lose a boyfriend, I can lose that, but if I consider you my friend, it's like the hardest thing for me to lose. But sometimes you got to recycle those. Sometimes they got to
Clean
be,
out your closet from
yeah, yeah.
that's what people say, clean out your closet from the ex or the boyfriend or the one that you shouldn't be with. Don't what do you call it, spin the block. But you got
Hmm.
the same thing. Sometimes those toxic people that are in your life, it's okay to let them go and do what they got to do. And
And sometimes those people are not upfront toxic. Sometimes those people are just weights that you don't really realize. You're going to
Mhm.
another level, but they don't have the mental bandwidth and capacity to go there with you. So sometimes you gotta
That's a
come
great point.
and sometimes it's good for them too, because maybe you guys will meet back up on the next level or whatnot, but they need to go their way on their journey as well. So
That
keep
is
taking.
actually a great point. I have a friend like that, and she was just we weren't in the same place. I was going in one direction,
Mhm.
she was going in another. We still are good friends, and came back and we're like we're still good friends, but you're just not in the same place to be that person that you hang out with. You're not the person that you call every day. That's okay. That's
Mhm.
okay. They're not all the way toxic, like you said. They're just in
Yeah.
different places in
We
their
could take
lives.
Issa and Molly
Girl, yeah,
for that
absolutely.
example, you know what I'm saying? Even though they was kind of toxic to each other at times, but but
That's true.
still, like that was like a good example of it. Sometimes we just on our journey is our journey. It's our journey, and we can't take everybody as much as we would love to with us all the time. And so sometimes we gotta let our hands go.
And people learn and grow, and who you were at 25 is not who you are at 35, and not who you're going to be at 45. That's
Hmm.
true.
Yeah.
It's true, and that's okay.
And it's okay. And we got to just learn to be okay with it. It's part of the self love. You know what I'm saying? It's like I got to learn this new growth in me. So as far as it goes, these changes, I got to learn to accept these changes and love these changes. And sometimes they hard. Letting go of certain styles and certain people in your life and certain activities that you used to do. Shoot, I used to turn up and get drunk with my friends almost every day. And then it was like
Right.
we grown.
Right.
We grown because
And
these bills
people
are
don't want to be grown. People are like, oh yeah, you used to be that person. I'm not that person anymore. I'm grown
right.
now.
I'm grown. I gotta be adulting out here for real, for real.
Right.
So I wish I could hang out and drink with you today, but tomorrow I got work. And they
People
will,
don't want to see the adult you, and that's
yeah.
okay. Then you can go and figure yourself out, and I gotta
Mhm.
be the adult me.
Yeah. And so now I gotta go find adult friends. Sorry.
Yeah, but that self love, like even just 5 minutes in the morning, take 5 minutes and meditate.
Whenever
That's
you
been
can.
very helpful.
I like to do it. I meditate, but I like to give myself words of affirmation in the mirror whenever I'm looking in the mirror. Whenever you walk past a mirror, whenever you see a mirror, look at yourself. Find something about yourself for that day to say,
Mhm.
today is the day I love this part of me.
And Kia and I were talking on my channel, and we were talking about get a jar and write down what you were grateful for that week for one,
Mhm.
and hey, it might be 5 things. It might be you found something that you were grateful for every day. I think that it have a grateful spirit that
Yes,
God woke you up that morning. That also can turn things around. I think that's important too,
that's
to have a grateful spirit.
definitely in a daily prayer, just thank you for waking me up today. You didn't have to do it. And I don't like to use the word content because it does breed depression when you really get down to it. But you do have to be okay and have a bit of contention with the things that you have in your life currently. You can strive for more, always strive for more, but you have to be okay with what you have. So
That's interesting. You're right. The word content, but maybe comfortable. Those two words, like being comfortable or being content. I see that that kind of contention, but you do have to be content and be happy with where you are. And also,
mhm.
and um, a good friend of mine, a really good friend of mine, sometimes when I get in my head, and then Kia had said it to me last night after our show. She's I got to remember how far I came, and I
Yeah.
said that's so crazy that you said that, because a good friend of mine says that to me, like, Crystal, like, you drove across country with two suitcases and a duffel bag, and You didn't have a place to drove across country to Atlanta, and now look at you. You bought a house like, within 2 years. Look at you. And sometimes when I get in my head and think, oh, I should be in this place, or I just get in my head a lot, like I just said. Just remember how far you came. If you did it once, you can do it again. And sometimes we don't think that way, and we do have to have that self care and self love for ourselves. That we're pretty damn strong.
One of
Excuse me.
my favorite things to do, and I'll end it on this notes because we got to jump over to the other panel. But
Yes, we
um,
do.
I need to ask, do you have any regrets?
Do I have any regrets?
Hmm.
Yes. Ooh, that's
You don't have to name them if you don't want, but I just
yeah.
want to know if you have any regrets. Um, are they actual like self regrets?
Yes, that I didn't listen to, something we have listened to that, you have good intuition. You know, we've all been hurt by a man. We've all been in a relationship we shouldn't have been. And I have two big regrets. One with a man, and then one with just in my professional life that yeah, that's it.
And so, are you with that? Are you happy with who you are today?
I'm still happy with who I am today, though. I am still, I still know that I'm intelligent, and I still know that I got a lot of love to give, and that I'm a generous spirit.
So going back to the first question of the two regrets, you have no regrets because if you love who you are today, you can't change it. All of those things made you.
That's true.
You know
I
what I'm
can't
saying?
change it. No matter what, I can't change it.
You can't change it. Those were the lessons that you needed to have in your life. And now you know how to be better and you are better. So as long as you love yourself for today, I always say you don't have any regrets. I don't have any regrets. I might have made mistakes. That's a part of life.
Right.
Made some bad choices. It's a part of life. Did I learn from them? Yes. Did I grow from them? Yes. Do I love me today? Hell yeah.
Yeah. And absolutely, those were lessons learned,
Hmm.
and I I thank God for those lessons. Yep. And
Yeah.
I know, and I'm somebody that knows to learn from my lessons, to learn those lessons.
And I
Yep.
say, if you love yourself for who you are today, if you can honestly say, yes, I love myself, you shouldn't have no regrets. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Unless, yeah, if you alive somebody or did something like that, now that's a different
Hmm.
story.
Right. Exactly. That did not happen.
Yeah, you might have some things you might want to work out with God, but
Right.
like, if you went
I don't have any of
on,
those, so that's good.
you went on this journey, on your journey, giving your best, and you didn't, do any real physical harm. And I say physical because we can't help the emotional harm that we do to others sometimes, but
Right.
no real physical harm intentionally to people,
Hmm.
then, you shouldn't have any regrets.
No regrets.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Crystal, for coming up here and joining
No
this
problem.
convo with me. I didn't mean to get all in your business, but
No, this was good. This was good. I'll see you guys on LBB 91.
Yes, we're
I gotta
gonna
go
move
pick up
on
the
to the
dog.
LBB, guys. Thank you guys for being here today. We really appreciate it. We'll have some more talks coming up soon. Just the same, just to make sure we're checking in with each other and giving ourselves love like we need to. Don't be selfish, at least a couple of days out the week or a couple of minutes out your day with yourself. Just love yourself. And love you guys. And we'll jump on over there and we'll see you over there. All
Good
right.
night.
Good
All right. Bye.
night. Bye.